Brand new Fox polling now shows that Americans are not convinced our economy is on the rebound. 68% say they see no sign the economy has started to turn the corner. Only 29% say they believe the worst is over. That is 2-1 in the no column. How does this fit into the White House argument for re-election? Juan Williams, Fox News political analyst, and Ford O'Connell is the former director for rural outreach for McCain's presidential campaign in 2008. Gentlemen, good morning.
Thank you for having us on, Bill.
Yeah, you bet. Thanks for coming back. Juan, what do you make of this? 68% don't have much hope out there. Oh, come on. Really? Color bars? Juan, you still there? All right, hang on a moment.
Yeah, can you hear me?
No, you went to black, and then now I can hear you. Fire away.
Now you can hear me. All right, so I was saying people are overly pessimistic, Bill. I think that if you look at because if you look at the numbers right now, in fact, the analysts are saying that, the American economy is growing at the fastest rate. Over the last 18 months, we have unemployment benefits, just to report out yesterday, are down. Unemployment at 9% is still too high, but it's not climbing. And you look at areas like housing construction, and of course, the biggest poll is consumer spending. Consumer spending is up in this country. And big stores like Macy's and Bloomingdale's and Newsroom are all saying that they expect to have a spectacular
Now
Christmas
that's
season.
the argument for that the White House is going to make. They say we're bumping along, but we're bumping along in the right direction. Can they sell it?
I don't know that they can, because at the end of the day, this is not a good sign for America's unemployed. It's a positive sign, for the eventual Republican nominee. The question is what is the Obama administration, Axelrod, going to do to improve or lower this number? Because at the end of the day, 2012 is a referendum on President Obama's handling of the economy, pure and simple.
To that point, look at this poll. We asked whether or not the Obama policies have helped or hurt the country. 48% say the policies have hurt. 35% say it's helped. Well, Juan, you reflect on that right now, and you think about a 50-50 nation. That poll directly goes to the stimulus and the health care law that continues to be debated and will be at the U.S. Supreme Court. And Ford's point is that, those policies, that's the referendum on the policies that the administration has pushed forward. 48% in a 50-50 country may not be the best of news.
No, and so what you can anticipate, Bill, is that the administration is going to make the case, again, that they had a very deep hole to dig out of, to get out of somehow, and that they've been slowly doing it. Now, people had expectations that it would be a faster climb to the surface, and I think there's a lot of people who are disappointed. I think that's what's reflected in those numbers. But if the president's out there on the campaign trail next year and he says, I can't get anything through the Republican Congress, and if you ask people in polls right now, they will say Republicans have been blocking Obama's job creation programs, and that that's the way that you would go at the GOP in the campaign season.
To that point, then, we're going to see whether or not that argument flies. Ford, does it?
Correct.
No, it doesn't, because blaming Congress is not an economic solution. It's a political strategy. House Republicans have put forth several jobs bills, and the Senate hasn't taken them up. Look, if the president really, let me do my best David Axelrod for a second. If the president really wants to help his short-term numbers, because it usually takes about 9 months for these initiatives to be felt on the ground, I'd approve the Keystone Pipeline. I'd open offshore drilling. Those things will help the president in the near-term future, and frankly, he doesn't want to do them.
But you don't think that's going to happen, do you, Ford?
Now, there's an example.
That's what I would do. If I'm David Axelrod, that's what I would do.
Let me just tell you something, Ford. There you are politicizing the jobs thing, trying to use it to advance a very conservative agenda about, stick the pipeline in, do anything offshore drill. You have an agenda. But I'm saying in terms of jobs, the American people are going to look and they're going to say, well, wait a second. What about passing the jobs bill? What about putting in place some more infrastructure spending? Why is that a bad idea? Why are they blocking it?
They're not necessarily blocking it. The House Republicans keep putting forth their own solutions, and the Senate Democrats, which choose not to take it up. So at the end of the day, the House Republicans are doing what they're supposed to do.
Many times, Ford, those headlines are difficult to sell or to seep in to the national brain think here. But you come back to this poll number where 48% say the policies have hurt. I mean, can you see an argument, Juan, for how the White House resells their own policy?
No, I think, look, if you think the stimulus was a bust, and a lot of Americans do, I don't think that's going to turn around before Election Day, Bill. But I think that the White House can say is look at the actual numbers, look at GDP climbing, look at unemployment benefits applications going down, look at the unemployment rate holding steady, look at consumer
still,
spending.
Those numbers are terrible. You know, Ford, you think about 9% unemployment. How do you overcome that?
Well, that's exactly right. That's why I put forth some solutions, and I think that's what we're hearing with the pipeline and some other items. At the end of the day, Americans want to go back to work. They don't want to hear about GDP. They don't want to hear about capital trapped offshore. They want jobs, and that's what the Obama administration is going to have to do if they want to win re-election.
Well, I would argue it comes down to emotion and how you feel about how you are doing and your family and your friends around you. Juan, thank you. Ford, thanks to you as well.
Welcome.
Enjoy Atlanta, Juan. Stay away from that other place now.
Thanks.
Later. 19 minutes past, Heather.